Just a little bit concerned as to why you're filming inside Sussex Police premises.
Well, first of all, can you actually identify yourself properly for me?
Yeah, of course. My name's Inspector Simon Barden. I'm one of the duty inspectors up in our
Inspector?
Simon Barden.
Simon Barden, okay.
So I work in the Force Contact Control Room, so we're just wondering why you're stood on our property filming into...
No, I'm stood on public property.
Okay.
So let's verify that.
But you're filming into private property?
It makes no difference.
It does.
Why is that? What law am I breaking?
Because you're filming private property and you haven't...
It makes no difference.
Well, it does. You can't film into private property.
Yes, I can.
Okay, under what law?
Okay. The law is I can film whatever I can see in public. Okay, you can't trespass the eye.
From the very start, the inspector exposes how clueless he really is. In the UK, there's no law stopping anyone from filming buildings or vehicles from a public space. An inspector, of all people, should know that instantly. Instead, when challenged, he doubles down with, under what law? That's not authority, it's backwards logic. The public doesn't need permission to film. It's officers who need legal grounds to stop it. Case law and Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights confirm it. Filming in public is protected right.
But there are staff members that are coming in. You're putting their security at risk because you could potentially...
I'm not putting anyone's security at risk.
But you could be, couldn't you?
No, that's a presumption, okay? I'm not doing anything wrong.
No, it's not a presumption because I said you could. I didn't say you were,
okay.
I said you could be. So that's not a presumption, that's me suggesting that you could be.
Okay, and how would I be putting their safety at risk then?
So what are you doing with those films?
Well, it's for personal use.
Okay, what personal use? Are you going to be sharing those online?
I don't know. Whatever personal use I wish.
Okay. So what is the purpose of you being here today, would be my question.
The police is a public service.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm here to actually record what the public pay for.
Okay, but this isn't a police station, this is police
It
headquarters.
makes no difference. The public still pay for it.
Okay, I don't understand what you're trying to achieve though, because if you want to make sure...
I'm not trying to achieve anything, I'm just filming what the public pay for.
Okay, but if you're trying to prove that the public are paying and getting value for service, surely you'd be better...
I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
So what did you say?
Okay, I said I'm just here to film what the public pay for. That's it.
Okay, for what reason?
My own reason.
Instead of acknowledging that filming in public is lawful, the inspector turns it into an interrogation. What are you doing with the footage? For what purpose? That's not policing, it's fishing. He isn't investigating crime. He's trying to invent one by forcing Plord to justify something that needs no justification. By law, Plord had no duty to explain. Public filming is legal by default, and no statute requires citizens to share their motives with police. Article 10 of the Human Rights Act protects this activity as free expression, yet the inspector treated a right like a privilege, as if Plord needed his personal approval to continue.
And do you come here regularly and do this?
That's irrelevant.
Okay. I feel like I've come down to have a conversation with you and engage with you, and you're not particularly willing to engage.
Yeah, but that conversation is irrelevant, okay? That's called fishing for information.
It's not called fishing, it's called engaging with someone. It's called...
Yeah, I'll have a conversation about whatever you want, okay? But whether or not I've been here or not, or whether or not I'm actually filming, I'm just doing exactly what I'm perfectly lawfully allowed to do.
What my concern would be is that, do you pose a security threat?
Okay, your concern and what the law is are two different things.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Okay, your feelings and what you feel is not the law. Okay, what I'm doing is perfectly lawful.
Not if you pose a security threat.
In what way? You still haven't answered that.
Have you answered my question?
Okay, you still haven't answered that.
Have you answered my question?
I don't need to answer your question.
And I don't need to answer your questions.
Okay.
When the inspector falls back on the tired excuse of a security threat, it shows how empty his argument really is. Security isn't a magic word officers can toss around when they have no legal basis. To restrict rights, there must be reasonable suspicion of actual crime, not just unease at being filmed. That's a standard set in place and reinforced by case law, because policing by feelings would turn everyone into a suspect. Claude cut through it perfectly. Feelings aren't the law. The inspector couldn't point to any real threat, so instead of answering, he hid behind childish deflection. Have you answered my questions? A weak cover for his own lack of knowledge.
Are you recording police vehicles? Are you recording information on police staff?
I'm recording whatever I can see.
Bear with me a second.
Why are you filming here?
Because I'm well within my legal rights to do so.
Why?
It's a public service that the public pay for.
Have you a keen interest in the police?
Okay, I have an interest in all public services.
So you do this on a regular basis?
Okay? That's irrelevant.
Well, rather than filming us, why don't you ask us some questions and we can, if you're interested in the
first of all, okay, if I had been approached correctly, okay, then I would have, okay, but your inspector hadn't, okay. You've come out, you've made an allegation, okay, towards me.
An allegation?
No, you did. You made an allegation that your staff, okay, are alarmed and distressed, okay.
Yes,
you should know, as a constable, okay, you should not be alarmed and distressed.
Any person can feel harassment, alarm and distress.
Not when you're an officer. It is case law, and you cannot. You cannot be.
Then let me speak. Let me get my point across so you can get yours. Okay?
I can film whatever the eye can see, sir.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. Okay, you've just said what you want, so let me speak. Okay, members of staff leaving this building, this facility, in their plain clothes, in their own car, you filming them has caused them alarm, harassment and distress. Okay? They're not on duty as police officers, so they can feel alarm and distress.
The second the constables show up, their defense crumbles. They claim staff were alarmed and distressed by Plaud's filming, but case law makes clear, police and their associates face a higher threshold for challenge and discomfort. Trying to dodge that, the constables insist these were plainclothes staff in private cars, as if that shields them. It doesn't. They were entering and leaving police HQ, tied directly to policing functions, and that link is exactly why Section 5 doesn't apply the way they want it to. You don't get to clock out of accountability just because you're not in uniform when you're still walking in and out of headquarters.
It's a big security risk.
From that here all the way round inside this property, okay, I can film.
It doesn't matter. When we book off our system off duty, we're off duty. However, what we are going to clarify is whether what you're standing on is private land. So
it's publicly accessible.
No.
It's publicly accessible under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act.
We're going to find out whether this part that you're standing on is private.
But then if you can show me the actual signs that state private property along there, okay, no public access, then fine, I will move on. Well, okay, but there are no signs, and it's publicly accessible.
What is your name, young man?
It's irrelevant.
You've clearly come here for an argument.
No, I haven't.
So
no, I haven't.
Of being here, then?
Because I want to film.
Film what? Film what?
Okay, what the public
film
pay for.
Leaving the building.
No, I'm filming what I can see. Okay.
Well, what you're doing is you're filming people leaving in their personal vehicles. Okay. That's not exciting.
And
a security threat.
No, how is that a security threat? That's a
You
presumption.
not see what happens in the world.
That's a presumption.
You're not seeing what's happening in the world.
Okay, yeah, but that is a presumption, okay?
It's not a presumption.
And where you just said, okay, about to do with license plates, okay? License plates are in the public domain, okay? You guys have access to that information.
You're putting that on YouTube in your specific...
Who said that? Who said that? Whoa. Hang on a minute. Whoa, hang on. No. You said that. I haven't said it. No, don't shout at me.
Listen to me.
Do not shout at me. No, don't shout at me.
So let me have my piece.
Please do not shout at me.
Let me have my piece then.
Yeah, as long as you don't shout at me.
The constables recycled the same weak excuse as the inspector, calling Plaud a security threat because he filmed staff number plates. Plaud shut that down immediately. Plates aren't secret. They're legally required to be displayed and visible to anyone on the street. Claiming that's a threat is nonsense. What makes it laughable is that police, not the public, have full access to DVLA records and registration systems. If anyone can run a plate, it's them. Trying to frame open public information as suspicious is absurd. It shows exactly what's happening, stretching security into a catch-all excuse whenever they don't like being filmed.
You are a public servant, okay? I am here as a member of the public to film public property, okay, and a public service that the public pay for, okay? I'm doing a completely lawful activity, okay? I'm breaking no law, I'm committing no crime, right? And I shall carry on about my business, okay? If you decide that you want to harass me, then you carry on and do that, sir.
The issue you have...
Could you step back a little bit,
What
please?
you're doing is you're causing our colleagues harassment, alarm and distress.
Would you mind stepping back a little bit, please?
You're causing our colleagues harassment, alarm and distress.
Would you mind stepping back a little bit, please?
Okay. Why don't you step back further over there to
No, because I moved to here and you came to me. Okay?
I'll come
just
to you.
Because you're...
Because it's strange, and I'm asking you why you're filming.
And you walk to me.
I'm asking you why you're
filming. If you don't want to be that close to someone, then don't walk up to them that way.
Listen to me for a minute.
Okay? If you ask your colleague to step back, I will talk with you. No, he's walked right the way up. Now, this is me feeling alarm and distress.
He's not in your personal space.
Yes, he is. Okay? He's well within an arm's reach.
Don't touch me.
I didn't touch you.
This is where the officer drops all professionalism. After losing every legal point, he steps into Plaud's personal space, crowding him without reason. That's not policing. It's intimidation. Officers are trained to de-escalate, not weaponize their presence when the law isn't on their side. Leaning in, He throws out, "Don't touch me," even though Plord hadn't moved toward him. That wasn't a warning. It was bait, a setup to twist any accidental contact into assaulting police. By manufacturing that trap, the officer made it clear he wasn't upholding the law. He was just looking for leverage against Plord.
Touch me and you get arrested.
I did not touch you, so let's get that right. I did not touch you.
Don't touch me.
Okay?
Touch me and you get
I
arrested
did not
for assault.
touch you. So
Okay?
you need to be quiet on that one. Okay? Don't tell me I touched you when I did not touch you.
Don't touch me.
I did not touch you. It's all on camera.
Do you understand
Okay?
that?
I did not touch you. Don't tell me do I understand.
Try and touch me.
Okay? Do not tell me. Okay? Right? He's got a real attitude problem. Yes, he has.
You're not listening. If you'd like to talk to me for a second,
that's
great.
fine.
Okay. So I just wanted to clarify some things. You're right. This is a public area. You are entitled to film here. However, your behaviour is causing our staff harassment, alarm and distress.
Who's that then?
So we've had members of our staff complaining about you, filming them, leaving the premises, and that is causing them harassment, alarm and distress.
As a police officer or police they cannot be the victim of being alarmed and distressed. No, they cannot. You need to actually look at that. It is case law and it is there.
Sir, listen to me. Yes, they can.
No, they cannot.
Yes, they can. So as such, under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act 2002, I'm going to ask you to provide me your details.
Okay,
name
right.
and address.
Now, I will actually state this, okay? Under Section 50,
Yep.
okay, the Police Reform Act,
Yep.
okay, there has to be a member of the public within 150 metres of me.
No, it
okay?
doesn't.
Yes, they
No,
do.
it doesn't,
okay?
because the
Right, you will not be getting my
the
details.
So if you refuse to provide those details, you're liable to be arrested.
You will not get my details. I'll tell you that straight because
That's
I've
fine.
done nothing wrong.
That's fine. I'm going to ask you again. You have.
Okay.
You've caused our staff harassment, alarm, distress.
And I'm going to tell you no.
There is concern around your behaviour and how it's making our staff feel.
And I'm going to tell you no.
That request from you to provide me with your name
And I'm going to
address.
tell you no because I've done nothing wrong.
You're under arrest.
Okay, right. Hang on. Just before you go, would you mind just reading my wrist, please?
When the inspector returned, it should have been a chance to restore order, but he just repeated the same nonsense as his constables. Then he pushed it further by citing Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, which was outrageous. Section 50 isn't a blank check to demand ID. It only applies when there are genuine ground to suspect antisocial behavior against the public. Plord was on public land, silently filming a government building. No public present, no harm caused. The inspector's denial of that requirement showed either total ignorance or deliberate misuse of the law. And when Plord rightly refused to give his details, they arrested him. That wasn't policing. It was punishment for refusing to comply.
As we know, I got one offer, okay, that got turned down, and we now have a court date for the end of February, so I will keep you updated on that, Pete. So, as you know, I gave you an update on Inspector Barton, and where it should have actually gone to court at the end of last month, and basically things have sort of been delayed, so I'm now waiting for another date for that, and as soon as I have that, I will let you know.
Plord's update flips this entire case on its head. After being wrongly arrested under Section 50, he didn't just complain, he sued. The force offered a settlement, but he refused, dragging the inspector into court. That's huge. Settlements bury misconduct, but a trial puts everything on record. If Plord wins, not only could the payout jump into the £5,000 to £15,000 range, but the inspector's actions would be stamped as unlawful, leaving the force with public shame, wasted taxpayer money, and likely disciplinary fallout. From the start, the inspector showed he didn't know the basics of filming law. Instead of leading, he copied his constable's mistakes, bluffing, escalating, and twisting Section 50 into a punishment for non-compliance instead of a safeguard against genuine antisocial behavior. There was no public harm, yet he denied it. The constables followed his lead, baiting Plord, crying security threat, and pushing the line about distressed staff. That wasn't policing the law. It was policing their feelings. And when pressed, they hid behind their inspector. The real failure isn't just one officer. It's cultural. Excuses replace accountability, and the mass of security crumbled the moment Plord pushed back. By rejecting the settlement, he's forcing those failures into the spotlight of court. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more independent coverage.